Well, that's my analysis. I mean, that's why I wrote the book. You don't write a book about solving a problem if there is no problem. I wrote a book about solving a problem, and I said the biggest problem on the planet is the problem of racism in the form of something called white supremacy, and that you can't solve any major problem among the people of this planet until you solve that one. I don't care what you do. I don't care what your problem is or where you are on this planet called Earth. If you don't solve the problem of racism, you're going to have problems that are going to keep happening and happening and happening. Why? Because racism itself is a problem maker. Even though they solve problems of physical things, the system of racism is very accomplished, very efficient in getting things done, in handling things, going into the ground and getting gold and iron and making the iron ore into steel and making all kinds of products, spoons, forks, pots and pans, trains, and getting other minerals out of the sand, out of the soil. I mean, and making airplanes and all like that. Being able to go from one place to another very swiftly and in a very efficient manner. But so a person might look at it and say, well, white supremacy accomplishes all this in a very efficient manner, more than any other system known in history. And that's true. But where's the problem? The problem is millions of people are thrown away deliberately in the process. So it comes down to people matter, or they're just making some fancy airplane or some fancy-looking car. Does that take priority over people? The white supremacist says, well, when it comes to non-white people, yes. A pretty car is worth 10 million black people's lives. Just making a pretty car for somebody to look at and ride around the block in. That's worth 10 million Negroes right there. I mean, if you have to kill 10 million black people, so what? And that's an incorrect analysis.
Yes, sir.
People who have that type of mentality should not be running anything, even though they are highly skilled. Why? Because they don't have the correct intentions.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, it's the job of the victims of that type of system to get rid of that system and come up with a better system. You can have a fancy car by using a system of justice. It's just a different system. And you don't throw away anybody in the process. That's the theory.